Gibbs, Indianapolis Center, do you have any test operations restricted area 2508?
Aries 31, roger. Traffic is quite luminous and is exhibiting some non-ballistic motion, over.
Roger, Aries 31. Continue to send at your discretion, over.
Okay, Center. The traffic is approaching head-on, ultra bright, and really moving. They're right by us right now.
There are 1,000 UFO sightings reported around the world every month. 90% of these sightings can be explained, but 10% cannot. Officially and unofficially, the U.S. military has been investigating UFOs since 1947. Their top secret goal is to find out what's behind these unexplained sightings. The Pentagon classifies them as unusual airborne anomalies, but a better term is X-Files. Join us now as Mack 11 and Commander Cobra explore these unsolved cases, UFO incidents that baffle even the U.S. military. This is Mack Maloney's Military X-Files. And now, here's Mack Maloney.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Mack Maloney's Military X-Files show here on the Distant Thunder Radio Network. This is Mack Maloney. Well, what a show we have for you tonight. But first, let me introduce the members of the posse. Go. Get ready. Sit down. Get your fans. Get your mister. Get your big box of Kleenex, your big box of wipes, your squeegee, and your lube.
What's lube?
Because the very famous Juan is
I've heard
here.
that before. Hey, Mac, how's it going? Hey, girls. Don't forget the lube, by the way.
Okay.
Happy to be on the show, as always. I live for this. It's on my calendar. I have warnings on it every day.
It's on your calendar.
Coming up in 5 days, another episode.
Really?
Coming up in 4 days, and it's like...
Wow.
I get goosebumps just thinking about it.
Is that what they are? Okay.
I just love doing the show.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Where'd you get the Tojo glasses there? Hope that not racist, but you look like the former
You look like Tojo glasses?
general in charge of Japan in World War II. Is that the look you were going for?
I call them Harry Potter glasses, but
go.
that's okay.
No, these are Harry Potter glasses.
Well, put the Tojo ones back on.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Listen. All right. Now there's some bad news, so get ready. We have to
What?
sober up. No Coco tonight. Sorry,
No
Mills
Coco
Gills
again?
and Gigi Gills. He's still out there saving the world. But he was going to join. He will be joining us, rejoining the formation in a future show. Also, no Switchy tonight. No Switch. He is still in the process of moving his headquarters.
Okay.
So that means our next stop is, I used to save the best for last, but I'm changing it up. I want to shake it up. Okay. So up there in Sideways, New York, our favorite good witch, Raven, is with us. Raven, how are you? Raven.
Hi, friends. I'm very good. How are you?
Hi, Raven. We're fine. How are you?
Good. I'm very disturbed. I just found out that Lucky Charms sells a cereal that's just marshmallows, and I want to vom.
No,
because that's
just
so gross.
marshmallows. That's not a breakfast cereal. Holy cow.
No kidding.
Oh.
Cheap.
No cereal, just marshmallows. So it's like,
marshmallows?
why don't you just eat sugar?
Wow.
You just
Really?
I'm
It's all
vomiting.
marshmallow stuff?
I need a beer.
Yeah, I just saw it. It's
Oh, that's disgusting.
awful.
Wow.
Okay, so we're in the third week.
Otherwise, I'm good.
Good. We're in the third week of the new hairdo, right? Is this the third week?
I think so.
Okay, I don't know. We can't
Maybe.
remember. We're still astonished. And what are you drinking there? That's not the apple juice, is it? Can you tell us?
No. We have a raspberry jammin'
Raspberry
at
jam.
my local brewery.
Okay, cool. All right. Raspberry jam.
What's the name of that brewery?
That's as bad as marshmallow cereal.
Okay, well, almost, but I wasn't going to say it, but X.
It's so good.
Also, looking in on us is our security chief, Willie Clubb. Willie, how you doing?
Hey, Mac. Hi, gang. I'm doing great. I got to tell you, now I'm pretty excited about that. Those marshmallows.
The whole marshmallow cereal? Yeah.
For St. Patty's Day, Lucky Charms.
Oh.
Perfect.
Yeah. Would you eat a whole bowl of marshmallows? Are you supposed to put milk in those things and more sugar?
Gross.
I love marshmallows.
Oh.
I like
I
going
do
out
too.
and toasting marshmallows and all
Really?
that stuff.
Yeah. Huh.
But you know what? I can eat a box of Peeps.
Oh, yeah.
Those things are disgusting, man. They're disgusting.
Now,
I'm
there's only 10 to a
actively getting
box.
sick.
I am too.
I can
And
eat
probably
those Peeps.
The
And you know what?
audiences.
Eileen likes them when they're on the stale side, so they're just, more
They're harder.
crunchy.
Oh.
They're harder.
Mac, I have to
What I like about
me
them, you
too.
get a high. I get a sugar high after
Yeah.
you box them. It's great.
But they're healthy. There's no cholesterol. There's
Yeah, they're real healthy. They're doing
all zeros and everything. You know?
all
I
zeros.
agree.
Oh my God, Club, run the show. Raven and I have to go vom. Okay. Wow.
We have to leave.
Those things I can't even.
no taste.
I can't
No
even
taste.
look at those things.
I'll have to tell you that the yellow peeps are my favorite, but I've been warming up to the blue peeps lately.
Really?
too.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
I have to try them.
You're all
Yellow's
inclusive
always
there,
good.
Juan.
Me too. Yellow and pink. I mean, yellow.
Really?
Okay. All
I think
right.
blue ones. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let's move
Raven,
on.
you're not digging it?
No one's digging it. All right. Here we
Not on
go.
board with peeps?
Let me go on.
No.
Let me carry on.
Okay.
Also in the house with us
Whatever.
tonight is Agent X, the man who works for the agency that works for the agencies. X.
Thank you for having me, sir. And I like always to be around this illustrious crew. And except for peeps.
Peeps. Oh, don't even. Let's not go there. We might edit all that out. So let's.
But I do like asparagus sticks.
Oh Jesus! Oh my God! Okay, that did it for me. Hey, listen, where'd you get that hat? Where'd you get that hat?
This is an interesting story. And it may be too close to home.
2-hour
but
show.
You remember Billy Viggers outside South Station in Boston?
Oh yeah. Go ahead. Yes. Go ahead.
It was an Army Navy store.
Among other things. Yes.
Yeah, and among other things.
Go ahead.
But all of us from the old illustrious neighborhood
The hood.
would go to Billy Viggers to get whatever we needed to get. And these hats, which but then were made in the United States, cost $2.34.
Sure.
Wow.
So I got this when I was a little
High
kid,
price one. Yes.
and it's still there.
Huh.
True story.
Wow.
I think I showed it to you before.
Yeah. Haven't I
That's a
given
nice
you?
looking hat.
That's
You probably had 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, what would you call that? If people don't know, because we're on the radio, it's like an Irish,
Donegal cap.
like a Donegal cap, right? Exactly.
Oh, in Boston we call it a scally.
Scally cap, right? Exactly. Okay,
And the Limeys call it a flat cap.
right. But who needs that?
And that Irish Post woman who interviewed you had never heard of a scally cap.
Who's the you? Who are you talking about?
You, Mac.
Me? Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Thank you for signing me up for that disaster. By the way, we should do a whole show on how that went down the friggin' drain. Thank you very much.
No, you were featured prominently,
No.
even though she
Yeah, it's featured
horrible.
too
She just-
prominently. She came
just
to.
satirized and made American Irish people look like they were stupid.
Right, yeah, there you go. What more do you want to hear? She made me look like I was a freaking, didn't know anything about anything.
Right. I sent you
Thank
an
you.
angry
So thank
email.
you. Wow. Okay. All right. Speaking of anger and really bad hats, joining us here is friend of the show, also father of Raven. It's
Father of Raven.
Father of Raven.
What an experience that must be.
Okay, she turned off her microphone. Okay, well, maybe,
popped out a
maybe they weren't
raven.
speaking. Okay, wait.
She's
hey,
amazing.
Hang on.
You
Dave.
have to just
Ew.
be more
Wow.
amazing.
Hang on. All right.
That's pretty vulgar.
Can I introduce him, please? It's
Well, not like he was carrying Raven.
oh, my
Was
wow. Wow.
Oh.
Really?
intimately familiar with the process.
Nice. Now he's
I
gone.
recognized you, Larry.
Lonely Larry is with us. Lonely Larry. Now we're going to have to clap
Larry.
for him because he will pout. Lonely Larry is here. That's a smattering of applause there, Larry. The sound of one hand clapping. How are you there, Lonely Larry? How are you, Larry?
I'm great, Mac.
You are?
And it's as always a pleasure to be here.
Prove it.
But I have to confess, this is only my number 2 highlight of the day.
Oh.
Number 1, of course, being breakfast alone at the Pantheon restaurant.
Really? Yes. Alone? What did you have? Switches in here, so we might as well ask you.
I had the eggs. They came highly recommended.
Okay, we're going to get into that in a couple seconds. But wait a minute. What was your full breakfast there? Watch this. He's going to embarrass us all now, guaranteed. Ready? What did you have? What did you order?
It's what I have had there every Tuesday morning for many years.
Yes.
Eggs over medium, hash browns, Italian toast, and black coffee.
Okay, and what's that cost? About $2? Where you go?
It's way up.
Really?
It's like 6 and change now.
That's not
Good
bad.
thing.
Yeah.
Switchy's been paying $12 for that same meal. So how much did you leave as a tip? What'd you leave? The change?
I left a 10.
You in a million years that
For
isn't
like
true.
a 6 and a quarter check, I left a 10.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's what
That's about
do.
right for him.
Yeah, but
They see you coming.
boy, no,
No, that's good. That's
you
good
don't want to
practice.
throw. I would throw
They're
another
like,
couple
"Here we
bucks
go."
on that. Yeah. Here comes the
You
big
get
tip.
great service. I find that I find
It's
out
a
if I
$3 tip.
tip like that for a small meal.
Okay.
Like if I get breakfast sandwiches instead of that big ass meal that I usually get with 3 plates in front of me.
Would you give a tip bigger than the amount of the bill?
If
If it's
no,
if it's a small
just
meal,
did.
if I'm not like
if you
I'm
know,
eating light.
if you're a
that day,
The
regular-
bill is $6, and you're going to give $10 on top
I'll
of
give,
that?
no, I'll
no,
give
not
6 or
$10
7,
on.
maybe
I
not
would
10, but,
if it was $6
you know.
and I went there all the time, I would throw $12 down. I would give them 50% because they're going to remember you. It's for worth of $2
That's
more
right.
dollars. Believe me, it's worth it. Knowing all the waitresses as we do. But anyway,
That's right.
so let's get to other things. Okay. So Larry, this is your number 2 highlight of the day. What's you want to apologize for that hat you're wearing now, or would you rather us?
No apologies at all.
Okay, describe it.
It's my Genesee beer hat.
Okay, what color is it?
It's pink.
Pink.
It's
Okay.
kind of faded.
And what kind of flowers? What kind of flowers are embroidered on that thing? What are those things? Oh, don't do that.
No
Oh,
flowers on this one.
okay.
I have a Genesee Springbok T-shirt that has daisies on it.
Daisies.
All right, that's it. I've got to take off my hat so I don't look like
Oh,
everybody else.
well, the shine is ruining the lighting. Put your hat back on. Wow. Okay, Larry. So, all right. So you're proud of the hat? Do you have a story about the hat?
Well, a few years ago, I went to the Genesee Brewery for a tour,
Go ahead.
and they had a nice gift shop there. So I got the hat, and I got a shirt and some other paraphernalia. I've been a big Genesee fan for,
We can tell.
let's say, a long time.
Yes. Yes. Well, I thought you were going to tell the story about how I threw you off of my deck because you were wearing that hat.
Well,
you can't go for the
I
punchline.
was at Mack's house, sitting on his deck, and it was a sunny day, and I'm bald, so I never go anywhere without a hat.
Go ahead.
And I was wearing this hat, and Mack was freaking out. I was sitting on his deck in view of his the 1 or 2 neighbors who can see over there.
They can all
He was
see.
freaking out that I was wearing a pink hat, and fortunately I had another hat in the car I could swap it out with. I think otherwise he would have just kicked me out.
I went down and got
the.
the other hat for you, if I remember, didn't I?
What's that?
I went down and got the other hat for you.
No, I had another hat in the car.
I know. I went down and I got it for you. You were too drunk to move. Don't you remember anything about this day?
Larry, did you have a cell phone back then?
I did, and it wasn't a flip phone either.
Okay.
I would have immediately called the police to take care of the mystery.
You don't want the cops down there, believe me. So look at. Okay. So listen. So we're going to have just a few quick questions for Lonely Larry. Okay. You can't do an Irish accent, can you, Larry?
What a lovely sack of potatoes.
The answer is no. All right. Here we go.
Where's my pot of gold?
Here we go. See,
Where's
that's even
my pot
better.
of gold?
It's even better. We're supposed to have an
Wait a
Irish.
minute.
Yes.
Is this meaning that the Irish girl that I've heard about for months is not coming?
It looks like she stood us up again twice.
Oh, come on.
Typical Irish chick.
Just
All
a
right,
mirage.
here we go. Okay, 5 quick questions for Lonely Larry. Okay, you ready there, Double L?
Absolutely.
Okay, here we go. Number 1, are there still Christmas lights up in your house?
Yes.
Okay, well, she tell everyone that we're in the middle of March right now. Okay, what happens? They're there all year round? Is that you're too lazy to take them down, or what's the story?
Okay. The big Christmas tree came down on Valentine's Day, but in our bedroom there's a tree that's up all year. We use it as a nightlight, and then in several rooms. Oh, I'm looking at a little ceramic tree across the living room from me right now.
Wow.
And in various rooms, including this one, there are string lights.
Yes.
They're in the bathrooms. They're strung up on floor lamps. They're around the kitchen windows.
Raven is holding her head in her
I love
ass.
this guy. That's what I used to do.
Yes or no?
Well, yeah.
Yes or no
We're
answer would
joyful,
have
festive
sufficed.
people here, Mac.
That's
I know
right.
you understand that.
Huh, okay.
It's a foreign thing to you, but
No,
but
listen.
it's a little bit of whimsy in a dark world.
Hey, nothing says whimsy in a
Good for
dark
you.
world than a Christmas tree in July in your bedroom, right? Yes or no?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Okay, here we go. All right, number 2.
Oh, and the Christmas tree in the bedroom is aluminum,
Wow, you real crunchy there, my friend. All right,
but
here
it
we go.
doesn't have one of those color wheels.
Oh, it doesn't? Well,
No.
all right, here we go. Number 2, ready? You might have already answered this. What is the junkiest junk food you've eaten in the last 3 months?
Junkiest junk food?
I know it's a long list.
I've got a real thing for barbecue potato chips lately. I eat them a lot.
Really? They're good for you.
And this time of year, I love this time of year because they
Christmas.
The grocery store I go to all the time has hot cross buns.
Oh, wow.
Which
Okay.
are just delicious.
Yeah, good.
But that's not
And they
junk food.
also have Irish soda bread.
Oh, that's
scones.
that's my kryptonite.
And
Yep.
they are
yep.
fantastic.
Yep. Yeah, that is. Hats off to anyone who makes Irish soda bread well, because I can sit down and just eat it and not stop. I don't know why. It's in the DNA. Anyway, okay, but aren't you a McRib guy or something? Aren't you one of the first in line?
I love McRib.
Really?
I tell you, McRib is the only good thing McDonald's ever made, and they sell it for about 1 month a year.
Right, they do.
And it really pisses me off.
Yeah, but don't they form the processed meat into making it look like bones, like rib bones, but it's really just kind of mush, isn't it?
Yes, it's highly processed.
Oh, very nice.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Called roadkill.
The flavor is in the
How would you know?
Right. The flavor's there. Who cares what it looks like?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. This morning I went to a coffee shop after my lonely breakfast.
Yes.
And I got a blueberry muffin.
Okay.
And in the 10 minutes it took me to get home, the bag was soaked through with grease.
Beautiful.
With what?
This muffin was so frigging good.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute. What's it soaked through with? Perspiration?
The
butter and stuff.
Whatever,
oil.
whatever fat they used to make it with.
Wow.
Butter, lard. I don't know.
Lard.
The thing was unbelievable.
It's odd the things you get excited about. Here we go. Number 3.
Oh, man, I love blueberry muffins.
This is related to number 2. How many times have you had your stomach pumped in the last 3 months?
Never had my stomach pumped.
Really? Okay. All right. That's your story. Stick to it. Okay, here we go. Ready? Number 4. Please explain the inedible egg incident. Raven told us that you were all out in the town and you left mysteriously this party that was going on. When she came home, there were these unbelievably disgusting eggs in her house. And it looks like you left them. Can you tell us in 30 seconds what that was about? Or do you want to take the 5th?
There's no mystery to who left them. I actually stapled to this package a note with my name in the letterhead.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true. But I was annihilated at that point.
Oh, okay.
Well,
There was a lot of beers that night.
That's the 5th question.
This is ridiculous. This charge about these eggs being anything less than perfectly safe and savory. All right, these are hard-boiled eggs.
Oh,
you buy them in a bag, 10 eggs.
You buy them in a bag,
and you just pull one out and eat it. It's great. Am I going to stand over a hot stove waiting for water to boil for half
1 minute,
an hour?
1 minute,
so I
half
can
an
put
hour.
the eggs in there and,
What do you got, a
when you look
campfire?
up online how long.
And you got to
they have
cool them and everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
listen.
Got to cool down, and then I got to peel these things, and inevitably I'll
take
peel
his
a whole bunch
side.
of bits of shell on it, and then I'm crunching eggshells all day long.
Wicked pain.
Wow.
I know.
But plus, they come from the border with the fentanyl.
Now, hang on. Listen.
And-
that gives them the little boost.
And you, how can you not trust that?
All right, let me just ask you, Larry. In Massachusetts, there's a law that you have to sell food anywhere you sell alcohol. So when you go into these really dive bars, and maybe it's New York too, I don't think so, but they'll have this big glass thing, and they'll have these disgusting eggs floating around in it for like decades.
Yep.
They don't sell them; they just have to have them there. So isn't that
They
basically?
do sell them, though.
Well, I've never seen
There's no
anybody
way.
eat
At
one.
this point,
I've
they're
never
inedible.
seen anyone. Yeah, right. They've sunk into the bottom by this point. Are these things you're eating any
deviled
better?
eggs, right?
Yeah, they're deviled.
Or
Byron.
pickled eggs.
Pickled eggs.
Yeah.
Pickled, yeah.
Okay.
Is that law still in effect? Is that? I remember for a while you had to have a piece of food like in front of you along with your,
Well, it's not
6
doesn't have to be
beers
in
that
front of
you've
you,
had.
but the place has
It's
to.
usually a grilled cheese sandwich.
They have to ask you food. They have to serve. They have to offer food if you sell alcohol in Massachusetts. All right, here we go. Number
Really?
5.
Yes.
Allegedly quick question to Larry. Explain the expired beer situation. Now, Raven said the other night she was on the show, and we all go around and we're all drinking all these fancy drinks, and she says, "I'm drinking expired beer that my father gave me."
Yeah. Well, first of all, beer doesn't expire. That's a myth.
It's a myth. Go ahead.
That's what Big Beverage wants you
Big
to
Beer
believe.
wants you to know. Okay, go ahead. Yep.
Big beer, they call it.
Yeah. What's the date on the side of the can for then? Just a memory?
It was Raven's birthday, and she
So you
was
gave her
really
expired beer?
feeling down about turning 50. So
Don't say that. Don't say that, man.
I would give her some alcohol, and I gave her a few this beer that she really, really likes, Genesee Kolsch.
Yes.
It's a seasonal thing, but I happen to have some left over from last spring.
Yes.
And I gave her my remaining Jenny Kolsch, and I had, I think, 3 old Bud Lights. And I'm not talking; they're less than 2 years old. Okay, in the back of the
Expired
refrigerator.
in 2020.
Unbelievable.
And I said, I'm probably not going to drink these.
That's a
So
sell-by date, not a drink-by date.
It was the born on, whatever the hell. it was.
Right, it's a sell-by date.
Yeah,
And-
okay.
and I gave her these Bud Lights because I figured I probably wasn't ever going to drink them. But here's the deal.
Go ahead.
I remember my mother had some beer in her refrigerator, and I remember having bought it.
Yes.
And I know this beer had to be minimum 5 years old.
Go ahead.
And I
drank it?
opened it up, and it tasted
And you lived.
just like new.
Wow.
So it is a myth.
Was that a birthday gift for you?
Did someone give you the old beer
No,
for your birthday?
It was,
Birthday
it was
gift?
what she gave me for Christmas that year.
No, you're still full of it.
Hey, Club. It's not exactly Father Knows Best, is it?
No, absolutely not. And I disagree about that. It does lose its taste. At least
It
to me.
tastes stale as hell. Yeah. Oh, it's
Yeah.
awful.
Bud Light. What taste did it have? to begin
I'm
with?
talking
I know
about
it's-
real beer. Like the
Yeah, it was
German
essentially
beer.
water.
Yes, right.
But I mean, I wasn't going to waste it.
Wow.
I'm not going to waste something.
Water and alcohol doesn't go bad.
Genesee beer. You call that real beer? I mean, that's kind of like, I don't know, local stuff.
Oh, don't say that, though.
No,
We're-
No,
Genesee's
Genesee
good.
beer is
upstate
actually
New
pretty
York,
good.
so we're basically like the Florida
And
of
us-
New York.
There you go.
Oh.
We're all trash up here.
Wow, huh?
But I think what Clubber is thinking of is what's called skunk beer.
Yeah.
That means once it's open
It's
or
terrible.
whatever, you
Okay.
can never drink it again.
Oh no,
But-
no beer. I mean, I consider myself a connoisseur,
Yes.
and I'll
As,
tell you,
as do we all.
Yes, go ahead.
and I'll tell you, it's hard for me to throw a good beer out, but I've learned over the years that you drink something that's in there too long,
It tastes
you'll end
flat.
up paying for it.
Yeah, it's
Well, that's because you've never been in the Republic of Serbian Krajina, where they made local beer and I can drink any beer.
Go ahead.
I put it in my mouth and I insulted my Serbian guests because I spit it out and I said, I'm sorry, I'm not feeling well.
So they shot you. Was that it? Is that the story?
Back then, they could have easily.
Can we tell people now, to end up this interesting segment, that during that war, you were the only American on the ground? Is that true, X?
I was the only American on the primary staff of the UN Protection Forces. Yes.
Well,
And
Wow.
the other Americans were all in a hospital in
jeez.
Plazo Air Base.
wow. Huh. So it was all in X's hands. How about that? So listen, why don't we do this? We have a very interesting show coming up. Lonely Larry, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. Okay.
Thanks for having me, Mac.
Well, hang around and we'll get your address so we can send the parting gifts to you, okay? Why don't we do this? Why don't we take a commercial break now? And we'll be right back after this. You're listening to Mack Maloney's Military X-Files show here on the Distant Thunder Radio Network. Please stay tuned.
There's a monster in Tokyo Bay, hundreds of feet tall and breathing fire. It's able to destroy whole cities, sink entire battle fleets, and knock swarms of jet fighters from the sky. But there's another even more dangerous resident of the bay. A secretive psychopath intent on covering the planet with nuclear-armed booby traps unless the world's population bends to their demands. Meanwhile, a mysterious group of reborn medieval warriors has taken to the air. Strange signals are being picked up from outer space, and witnesses report seeing hundreds of ghost planes flying in the night skies over Tokyo. Sailing off the coast of Japan aboard the United American Navy's mega aircraft carrier, the USS USA, it's Hawk Hunter, the wingman. He must investigate these unusual occurrences while trying to thwart the criminal's apoplectic plan. But will his actions save the planet or lead to World War IV? Find out in Mack Maloney's exciting new novel, The Jericho Storm. Filled with dozens of dogfights, sea battles, and brutal hand-to-hand combat, The Jericho Storm is book 21 in Mack's best-selling Wingman series. Team up with Hawk's longtime allies, as well as a few new ones, including fighter pilots Switchblade Steve Ward and Jocko Johnson. That's Wingman 21, The Jericho Storm. On sale now at your local bookstore and on Amazon.
We're going to talk about a number of things. Let me introduce the posse very quickly. Girls, the very famous one is here.
Hello, Mac. Hello, girls.
Right.
Welcome to the show. I'm glad to be here, Mac. Thanks for the invitation once again.
No Coco and no Switchy. Sorry, girls and Gilfs and Gigi Gills. But Raven, our favorite good witch, is here. Raven.
Hello.
Hi, Raven.
Week 3 of
Hi.
the hairdo.
New hairstyle.
Yep. Week 3. Also with us is our security chief, Willie Clubb.
Hi, Mac. Hi, folks. It is great to be here. Yep, absolutely.
Looking as esteemed as ever. He could be the judge. He could be the guy who runs the hospital. He could be the president. He could be the priest. He could be the pope.
I know.
Yeah, really.
There are a lot of different masks.
Also with us is the man who works for the agency that works for the agencies, Agent X.
Hello, Mac and Mac fans. Thanks for having me.
So anyway, this is an interesting night. We get a lot of topics floating around here, especially later on in the show. But as you know, Club has his finger on the pulse of what's going on with this new U.S. government investigation of UFOs that they announced last year. They promised it would get off with a bang, but it has not got off with a bang at all. The question is, are they not doing anything, or are they keeping from us what they're doing, which is what they promised not to do? They promised to be open, et cetera, and
transparent,
and that has not happened yet. So why don't we do this? Why don't we run that bump of music?
Reporting the latest in the U.S. military's new investigation into UFOs and what they still aren't telling you. It's time for the Club Report.
And Club, I'll turn it over to you. What's new with this investigation, Club?
Well, Mac, as you mentioned, we're kind of disappointed. It's been since November that this new team had been put together to work on reviewing all of the different issues that have been arising in the airspace, particularly, with the different sightings by Air Force and other personnel. So, they developed this. They gave this a lot of fanfare back in November when the Department of Defense put together this new, I guess I'll call it an agency, but it's a group. And the problem is, since then, we haven't had anything to really report on as far as giving you updates, because all's quiet on the Western Front, I'd say. So, and as I mentioned when we first started talking about this, the UFO community, a lot of the leaders have been very concerned about this new group, that it really was just set up to keep people quiet and still hide things, you might say, right? Status quo, but make it look as though something was really going to take place. So, anyways, I'm still an optimist that things will take off with this. But there's something I want to report tonight that Mac had shown me, and it does give me a little more doubt that maybe they aren't going to do what they said they would as far as disclosure. But anyways, it has to do with the Department of Defense is now coming back saying that they want to start classifying everything now, all these videos and all these sightings, as sort of confidential. They're not going to go back to what's already happened. They're not going to interfere with the videos, like the gimbal and the go fast. But from now on, their recommendation is that this all ought to be reclassified, you might say, so that the public won't have access to it. Now, that is obviously going to get a real strong response from the UFO community, saying, just like we thought, you're going to continue to do what you've done as far as keeping a lot of this away from the public. So anyways, all we know is that, it is being challenged. The director of national intelligence, Avril Haines, she has contacted the, you don't like that name?
I'm sorry.
Do you know that person, X?
Yeah, you reacted.
I do. Yeah.
Oh,
sorry.
you do?
Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. You might know something you might want to share. But
Go ahead.
all right, I will. I'll continue. Well, anyways, the director of national intelligence, she's written to the Congress, and she's really concerned about this, situation where they want to start classifying everything, and she considers it, excessive government classification. And in her letter, she says it's really going to undermine U.S. national security. Now, according to her, she said what this will do is it'll damage, obviously, the public's faith in the government, which it will, because we've been told they were going to start making more things open. But more than that, she says it reduces the intelligence community's capacity to effectively support policy-making decisions. And what she's saying there is that in the past, folks have been able to, they've shared things with us going back to the launch of the Russian satellites, back in the end of the 50s. They made the public aware of it. And so then, the word got out and people were more knowledgeable. And she said it really needs to be shared. And I think everyone agrees with that. Mm-hmm. But this whole deal now with UFOs, which we now are now considered, as you know, UAPs, identified aerial phenomena is what the government wants them to be called now. So anyways, what we're going to be waiting to see is with the Director of National Intelligence, what the Congress, if they take any action in response to her letter over this. And I think she'll create some noise here that hopefully will get the DOD to back off this whole confidentiality thing as far as these sightings. So hoping to be able to give you regular updates on that. And I follow a lot of the congressional stuff, so I'll see when they come back with a response. But she has, made a point of sending that in writing.
Yes.
And basically it was to the U.S. Senate.
She's tickled them. She's tickled them, as they say. So
exactly.
Here's the question, though, and this is I ask this question every time we talk about this. Right. Number one, it's either or. Are they doing stuff and not telling us, or are they just sitting on their hands and not telling us? It could be either one. We should ask X, because X is a government guy. But do you see what I mean? What are they guilty of? Not doing anything and just saying this is all just a charade, or doing stuff and not telling us about it?
Well,
go ahead.
Before you jump in, X, I just wanted to say, the idea, the charge of this group when it was put together in November was that it was going to bring information in from the public and so on. So we expected that they were going to share this and not keep it a secret. But, X coming from that side of the world might be able to shed more light on it.
Do you see what I mean? X, so what do you think? Do you think that they're keeping lots of information secret, or they're just not doing anything and saying it's secret and there's really nothing there? They're not doing anything.
If you had asked me 5 years ago, I'd say they're not keeping anything particularly secret about UFOs.
Okay.
If you ask me today,
go ahead.
I'm not confident that they are independent of the new DNI, Director of National Intelligence.
Yes.
And what she wrote. I'm not confident that we are getting the whole story.
Okay. Well, that's not no surprise.
Let me ameliorate it like that. I don't think we're getting the whole thing.
Another big word.
Not just on UFOs. Though UFOs would be a great...
Yeah, we can go down that road for forever, but...
UFOs would be a great diversion for them. But yes.
Yes, okay.
I stand by my words.
So see, this came to me the other day, and Club, I almost picked up the phone and called you up, and I don't even know where the our Irish person has just joined us. I don't even know where this thought came from. Okay, but you know what I think they're going to do? I think they're going to say to us, and this might be the reason for the name change and everything. I think they're going to say this is a natural phenomenon we cannot explain. It's not any danger to our aircraft. We don't know what it is, but it's a natural phenomenon we cannot explain. And then everyone's just going to say, well, okay, and maybe that's exactly what it is. Maybe it's just this, they can't explain it. There's no, once again, we use this, example all the time. The people go out on safaris and they go out into the veldt and they're in trucks and they have cameras and so on. And they watch the lions eat the antelopes, right? The lions have no idea what a safari is, what people are, what the truck is, what cameras are. They just go on about their life doing what lions do, okay? Maybe it's just like the lion can't understand what a safari is. Maybe we can't understand what UFOs are.
Mac, do you think that the idea was that they would report on each of the objects? Are you saying that every time there is an object that is identified, they're just going to come back and give that same
I think,
response?
no, I'm going to say overall, that might be the overall excuse. The question is, once again, to me, is like, if they're just sitting on their hands and doing nothing, and this is all just a charade, okay, I think eventually they're going to be exposed because they gave them millions of dollars to do this. And you do have to account for that money at some point. Number two, if they're doing stuff and marking it secret and stuff, that's not the way we were supposed to go on this thing. It was supposed to be full transparency. We're going to tell you everything. It's going to be scientific. The civilian population is going to help us and all this BS. Well, if it's not,
looks like it's written in their charter that they were going to do that.
But you know what?
In order to get the funding.
Yep.
Well, that's true. Yeah. So I don't know. It's strange. I guess a lot of people are looking forward to it. Say finally, this is disclosure, as they say, and it's been anything but. Would you say, Club, to wrap it up?
Yeah, but again, I'm confident that there's going to be a lot of noise about this from particularly the UFO community that will be putting some pressure on them.
Oh.
So we'll see. Like I say, right now I'm still an optimist. I think there's a lot of distractions in the DoD right now.
True.
So I'm hoping that that's it. But this whole classification thing bothers me.
Goes wrong.
It seems like it's a first step to it going back to what it always
used to
been.
be. Yes.
But I'm still open to see what happens.
All right. Well, I wish I could say I was too, but not really. But listen, I think one last thing. I think it'd be interesting if they're going full throttle on this and not telling us. That to me tells you something. That tells you that they have something there. But look, why don't we do this? Why don't we take a commercial break now, and we'll be right back after this. One of our fans may be joining us. Let's see. You're listening to Mack Maloney's Military X-File Show here on the Distant Thunder Radio Network. Club is here, Raven is here, X is here, and Juan is here. And we'll be right back after this.
It's early medieval Europe. Norse marauders are pouring down from the north. Steppe riders threaten from the east, and Moorish raiders are surging up from the south. Now, as the Vikings plan an invasion of Ireland, the country's aging king must somehow protect his nation. But who is up to the task? Nordic sagas tell us an obscure and unlikely hero arises to save his people. Wolf of Clontarf leaps into history as a nightmare to the Norse and avenger for the Celts. It's Vikings meets Braveheart as this legendary Irish warrior, some medieval special operations forces, and a young woman spy help the Irish king defeat the Viking invaders. It's a tale spanning 15 years and leading up to the most decisive battle of the Middle Ages. That's Wolf of Clontarf, a new novel from Thomas J. Howley, now on Amazon.
Show here on the Distant Thunder Radio Network. This is Mack Maloney. Mack Maloney. Okay, because we're having a special show tonight. Let me introduce the rest of the posse. Girls, get ready, because Juan McWanwan is here. Juan McWanwan, how are you?
You've been at the top of the evening to you, Mac.
Okay, what do you... Was that your Irish accent? Does it turn it? Okay.
It's with the leprechaun.
There you go. All right, also with us is Raven McRaven. Raven, how are you doing? Our favorite good witch. Raven.
I'm doing so good.
How are you?
I always am.
Wow, not bad. Not bad.
That was good.
Where are my shades? Hang on. Wow. Okay.
Oh, it was terrible.
I can't do it. It was kind of weird because my grandmother, I couldn't understand if she had such an Irish brogue, and I cannot do the accent. Anyway, Willie Clubb, our security chief, is with us. Willie, how you doing? Willie Old Clubb.
I'm doing fine, Mac. I'm going to say top of the morning to Mary.
It's a little late.
Top of the morning to you, my lad.
Also with us is Agent X, the guy who works for the agency, and he's a dual citizenship Irish person, which is going to make a big difference in the upcoming segment. X, are you okay? X, the big day is coming up Thursday, St. Patrick's Day.
Is indeed. And Mary, I apologize for all the racist stereotypes you're about to hear.
Can we introduce her first?
I know where they all live, and I can hunt them down. Believe
That's
me.
okay. I'll put the windows in.
Hang on. So listen, joining us is a good fan of ours, a good friend of ours, and a big fan of ours. I guess she was. We'll see how big of a fan she is after the show is over. Is Mack Maloney. Calling in from Northern Ireland. Come on, we have to clap. Mary, did I pronounce your last name? Did I pronounce your last name correctly?
Mullen.
Mullen, okay. All right.
Mullen.
You should have asked me.
You're in Northern Ireland, right?
I am indeed,
Okay.
yep.
Okay. And you listen to the show, obviously.
I do indeed.
Will you listen to it after this, after you've actually met us?
I don't know. I have to think about
see
that.
these Irish people are, man. Holy cow. It was great for you to join us, and you must listen to us on the. Where do you listen to us on the UK channel? That PA UK.
Yeah, the podcasts normally.
Right, yeah. So, thanks for joining us. We really enjoy having fans come on because let me see the real Irish people here. I'm 100% Irish. I know X is too. Club, are you 100% Irish?
Well, by 100%, both grandparents, both sides were born in Ireland.
Yeah, mine too. Right. I know one
I'm only
is like
25%.
25%
Ancestry DNA.
Right. It's the bottom of the seat. Raven, are you? I'll tell you, you would almost pass for someone from Ireland with the hair and the raven hair.
I agree.
Yeah, you would.
Well, so my real name is 100% Irish, but I'm a millennial and I'm trash. So I'm a mutt.
Okay. Here we go.
Well, my real name is technically the name of a city in Ireland.
And what's that?
It's Clare.
Clare. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
very good. Very good.
Yeah. So listen, Mary, because you joined us, we have a top 10 list on why it's cool to be Irish, okay? All right. Have you ever been to the U.S.?
No. I have a sister that lives in Michigan.
Michigan. Well, our apologies. Battle Creek. She lives
Battle Creek.
With Switchy.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
yeah.
We'll have to hook
Where's
him up.
Switchy when we need him?
Yeah.
She's always trying to get me to go out there, but no.
Just if you could put it in one or two sentences, what do Irish people think of Americans these days?
Yeah, they love America.
Really? Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
But as I said, my grandpa...
Except for the Irish Post.
No, there we go.
The Irish Post.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we, top 10 questions, we're recycling this from a few weeks ago when our communications got goofed up. Top 10 reasons it's cool to be Irish. Okay, and we have a real Irish person with us, so she'll tell us what we're accurate or not, okay? Raven, how are we doing list-wise? Are you ready?
Got it.
Okay, let's start the music here. Top 10 reasons it's cool to be Irish. Number 10, please, Raven.
All right. Number 10, Here we go. Number 10, all that great Irish cuisine.
All the great food over there, right?
Yeah.
Mary? Come on, there's no Irish food, is there? Not really,
Of course
right?
there is.
What is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell us.
There's Irish stew for a start.
Oh,
Apple
come
tart.
on.
Toffee
Come
apple.
on, Mac.
Lamb.
Yeah, you can eat
Not so much lamb.
Yeah, mint jelly, so it won't make you sick. It's not. There's no real Irish restaurants
smoked
around.
Salmon at Moore. It doesn't get better than
It's the one thing the meatballs have over us is they got better cuisine. Okay, number 9, please.
You can't beat stew. You can't beat Irish stew. No way.
Right.
No.
Exactly. Good one.
Number 9,
There you go,
please.
Mary.
Raven, why it's cool to be Irish?
Number 9, we can pick a few shamrocks, dry them, smoke them, and then see the little people.
Right? Isn't that what that's about, the whole...
I don't know if shamrocks do that, do they?
No, they don't.
They don't?
Definitely not. I would have tried that long ago. No.
I'm sure someone would have tried it a long time ago over there. Okay, all right,
Yeah.
number 8, please. Top 10 reasons it's cool to be Irish.
Number 8, you can have beer for breakfast.
Beer for breakfast,
You can.
right? They give it in school.
Or
See?
whiskey.
Perfect.
Oh,
All right,
I got to move there.
Number
Oh my gosh.
7, please.
You know
But
when
you'll regret it later.
No. Go ahead, Mary, please.
you know when a little baby's teething,
Oh, is that right? Yeah, that's what my parents
Yeah.
gave me.
you
right.
give them whiskey.
Give them.
I got it when I
kidding.
was
Wow.
a baby. Everybody
Okay.
gets it.
Yeah, that's what
My
started me.
parents told me that they got that too.
Yeah.
And Mac, I have to tell you,
Go ahead.
on one of my several trips to Ireland,
Go ahead.
they had, and this is true, posters or billboards
Yes.
around the country saying Guinness is good for you.
It is. They give it to pregnant ladies.
Oh,
It
that's
is, yes,
kidding.
exactly.
that's their PR.
Even
the
in
iron.
Germany, they give Guinness to pregnant
Why would they
ladies.
give?
Yeah.
Why would they give beer to pregnant women? How can that? What's it?
Because it's the iron content in it. It's full of iron.
Really? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Gonna have
it
to start
has
drinking it
not-
again then. Okay, but it's expensive. And
Ironically, not a lot of alcohol.
it's not a lot of alcohol.
No.
That's what's weird about it. It's
No.
very low alcohol content, which is very strange when you think it comes from Ireland. Okay, next one, please, Raven. Top 10 reasons it's cool to be Irish.
Excuse me. Number 7, you can have beer for lunch.
Beer for lunch, right?
can.
After breakfast, you need to top it off, right?
Yep,
Exactly.
definitely.
All right, there we go. Okay, we'll just move on. All right, please. Next, top 10 reasons it's cool to be Irish.
Number 6, only we get to French kiss the Blarney Stone.
Okay, now we had this. We had a controversy about the blends. Now listen, I'll
I've
just.
never done that.
All right, I'll just tell you what club.
Mary, if you do that, you'll hurt your tongue.
No.
I thought so.
Don't bring that into
Karate.
it.
You
Club.
took
Okay,
something.
where is the Blarney Stone?
It's in Blarney, Ireland.
Bonnie Castle.
Blarney Castle.
Mary.
okay.
And I did tell you, I should say this again since we're talking about
yes,
it.
explain.
But when we've been over there, we know some people, and a lot of the teenagers like to hang around the castle at night, and they'll go up and drink beer, and they'll be right up in the top area where the stone is.
Go ahead.
And they'll pee in it all night.
Oh,
and then they'll come back the next day and watch all the tourists
Kiss it.
bend over to kiss
I'm
them.
gonna bomb now again. Second time for the show. First with the
I'm glad they brought it up.
That is true.
That is true.
Wow.
That is true. Okay, the Irish tourist will be on the phone with us very soon. Okay, so next, please, top 10 reasons it's cool to be Irish. Please, Ready?
Number 5. 5, yes. Where else can you say, want to see my shillelagh?
Shillelagh. Shillelagh.
Yes. And,
Okay.
and not get arrested. That's
It's a walking stick.
that's what they say. Okay, let's
what
go.
it is, okay.
The joke in this somewhere. Next, please. Right.
Number 4. All that great Irish porn.
Not so much. No, you'd burn for that. You'd be dragged up to the nuns for watching stuff like that. No.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Wow.
And correctly so, I may add.
Yes, correctly so.
Irish porn. Okay, please. Next, top 10 reasons it's cool to be Irish.
Number 3. Oh, we can all hate Bono equally.
Right, we all
Yes,
hate him equally,
yes.
right? Yes, everyone
Yes.
I
does.
also
Yes,
hate
yes,
him.
yes,
That's
yes.
me.
Yes, everybody.
He used to be cool. What is his problem?
used to be
He
cool,
made $1
and now
billion.
he's an
That's
asshole.
what happened
Yep.
to him. Okay, God, please go on. Top 10 reasons it's cool to be Irish. Are we at number 1 yet there, Rick?
Number 2.
Number 2.
Number 2, you can have beer for dinner.
So you can beer for dinner. Okay, so it's
You
Sorry, I
can.
just smacked the
breakfast,
microphone.
dinner, lunch, 6-pack and a
Lunch,
potato,
breakfast, dinner. Yeah.
7-course Irish meal. Okay, now we're at number 1.
Number 1 reason it's cool to be Irish. We're not just an island full of drunk, moody redheads anymore.
Oh, see, that's real.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, we are.
Our
something
dude.
like that.
I told you about the racist stereotype, right?
Bleach.
I know. I shouldn't have written this.
What,
Raven,
what,
can you see what I've got here?
what do you got there? Shillelagh?
It's a shillelagh.
Put your pants back up. That's awful. Oh, no, wait a
My
minute.
grandfather brought that back over 100 years ago.
It looks like a
Wow.
golf
It's
club.
The regular,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
it is a cane.
If you
Yeah.
hit someone
Oh
with
my gosh,
that.
it has thorns at the end of it.
Thorn.
Well,
Yeah,
the
that's to
actual-
beat the pretty ladies with.
Oh, wow. Okay, maybe there is some
Beat
porn
someone to death with that.
involved.
Wow.
Okay.
I do. I use it as a protection item.
Yeah.
That little hurt.
For every time someone thinks you're Whitey Bulger,
Yeah, right. Give him a hit.
you're like,
Just
I'm
whack
going to
him
get
with
my
it.
shillelagh.
Do you have to have a shillelagh license club for that, or what?
No.
No, I
Not yet.
go without it.
Jeez.
Wow. So listen, Mary.
But Mary,
Yes.
despite all the oppression and hatred, the number one reason is because the Irish are better looking than everybody.
Well, that
There
is
you
great.
go.
Right, okay, all right. Let's
Yeah.
clap.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course we are.
Mary, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. You've been looking forward to this, and we hope you still remain a fan.
Oh, yeah.
Have you got your bag of swag yet?
I did.
Okay.
I did indeed.
So you got it right here?
Excellent.
Okay. All right. Wow, there you go with the freaking bar coasters.
Wow.
Excellent.
Very good.
Man, I'll tell you, we're keeping those people in business. People love the bar coasters. They just love them. Who knows why? So listen, Mary, thanks for
Especially people
joining
in
us.
Ireland.
And someday we'll come over and do a remote broadcast from Ireland. How about that? Would they let us
Yeah.
in? Would they let us in?
Of course they would.
No, would they let us out? Maybe not. Thank you, Mary. Thanks for
We'll all
joining
meet
us.
you at the airport. You'd be grand.
Okay, let's give
Well, Mary, I'll be there for the month of July.
Yeah, he's going over.
We have it on recording. She said she'd meet us.
Okay.
We're in.
Happy days. I'll meet you. No, not a bother. Not a bother.
My wife and I are
Local
moving to
pub.
England in May,
Yeah, Wanwan's moving over there.
and I'll take the train to Scotland anytime.
Take the train to Ireland.
Scotland, all those places.
And get your cheap
Yeah,
ticket.
it's lovely over here. It is beautiful over here.
Yeah, I should.
God's own country.
I should go there. I mean, all kidding aside, I know X has been there a bunch of times. Barry, how many times have you been there?
I've been there twice. This will
Okay.
be my third
You know,
time.
I still have relatives over there, living over there, and I feel like I should just go, visit them and get some poutine
Of
from them.
course.
Is
You should.
poutine? Is that how you pronounce the moonshine of Ireland? Poutine. Have you ever heard of that? Either of you two. Okay. What do you call moonshine in Ireland? There's a moonshine.
Poaching.
That's it. Okay.
Poaching.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
jeez.
I just wasn't pronouncing it right. Anyway.
Watching, but if you drink that stuff, it's rocket fuel. It can make you go blind.
Well, we'll see. Thank you. Mary, thank you very much for
And
joining
Mary,
us.
do read a book that my good friend wrote. It's called Wolf of Clontarf. If you know about the
Right.
Battle of Clontarf.
Why doesn't your friend send her a free copy there, friend?
Yeah, send me a copy.
Send her, yeah, come on.
I will. I mean, he will indeed.
Okay.
If you,
I will give.
me
I
an
have her address because we sent her a bag of swag. Expect a free book from X's friend. Okay, Mary.
Happy days.
All right. Once more, let's clap her off, Mary. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Let's do it again sometime. Okay.
Thanks for being on the show, Mary. You're
Yeah.
a great sport. It's
No
awesome.
problem.
All right. We'll see you soon. And let's take
Northern
a.
Ireland. Wow.
Let's take a commercial break now, and we'll be right back after this. You're listening to Mack Maloney's Military Exile Show here on the Distant Thunder Radio Network. The whole gang is here, and we'll be right back after this.
I was in the hospital with my son for 18 months.
When he got injured, I wasn't prepared, but I knew I had to be strong.
When I was told about John's injury, I was in complete shock. I just remember rushing into his room and giving him a big hug and letting him know I was there.
These veterans and families are just a few of the heroes we serve at Homes for Our Troops. For thousands of severely injured veterans, everyday life is filled with barriers.
It was really the little things throughout the house. Counters that you can't roll up to. I had to drag my wheelchair down steps.
I want to help, but he is so determined.
At Homes for Our Troops, we build specially adapted custom homes with features like wheelchair access, roll-in showers, and automatic door openers that allow them to function independently and focus on their recovery and family.
This house is freedom. It's hope. It's a new beginning.
This house has given me my family back.
To learn more, visit hfotusa.org.
Welcome back, everyone, to Mack Maloney's Military Exile Show here on the Distant Thunder Radio Network. This is Mack Maloney. Wow, what a show we've had so far tonight. But it's hopefully going to get better. Let me introduce the members of the posse. Okay, not that I'm saying it's bad, but you be the judge of that. Girls, get ready, because very famous Juan is here.
Hello, girls. Hello, Mac. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a fun show so far.
Okay,
a lot of surprises.
A lot of surprises, as it turns out. We had a fan from Ireland join us on the air in the last segment, and whether she's a fan or not, she said she'll decide in the morning. Didn't she say that or something?
Yes, she did.
Anyway, So it's 50-50. No Coco tonight. If Coco was here, maybe he would have, won her over to us. No Switch tonight either. He's in the process of moving his headquarters. But with us is our favorite good witch up there in Sideways, New York. Raven is with us. Raven, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Well, you've been with us for the past hour. How should we be?
I've been with us the whole time.
Okay.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Now, how would the dog? How's the dog around? The cat around? What's going on with the animals? Scotch.
I have no one right now.
Scotch and water.
No one is here with me.
Okay.
I don't know where my dog is. I don't know where my cat is. They might be doing hard drugs. I'm not sure.
You don't know. Well,
the dog's name is Scotch. Is that right?
Yep, and water.
Yep.
Okay.
How appropriate on St. Patrick's Day.
He's writing that.
Exactly.
Has nothing to do with St. Patrick's Day, but okay, they're Scottish.
True. That's
right. That's what I was just going to say.
Also with
Scotch has zero to do.
Nobody drinks Scotch on St. Patrick's Day.
Also with us is our security chief, Willie Clubb. Willie, Clubb. How are you doing, Willie?
Hi, Mac. Hi, gang.
Okay.
I'm really liking the show because it's got an international flair tonight.
It does have a little international flair.
It's become much more sophisticated.
Between here and Ireland, yeah. Okay, I guess
you don't need a passport to enjoy it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. Willie, in case trouble breaks out, you'll be on hand.
Well, thank you for having me. It's always good to. I wanted to check out whenever you have someone from another. I was going to say a planet from another country. To make sure everything's legal here.
Describe it as another planet. Some of the stuff they eat over there in the language. Also with us is Agent X. Agent X is the guy who works at the agency. What is it? He works at the agency that works for the agencies, right? And that the agreed upon wording there, X.
Yeah, and they still do. And I agree. This was fun because of all the international guests, like the Irish and the Scotch.
Okay, Scotch.
Yeah.
With a small S. Listen, joining us also, calling in is our good friend, our favorite empath, Valerie LaFaso. Valerie, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me back. Sounds like I missed something good before I got on here, so I'm looking forward to listening.
Yeah, you'll see. Good, is nearly other than that.
It's all downhill from here.
No, listen. Why would you say that?
I mean, because we had such a great guest there.
You listened to her, and
of course, Valley, you're going to bring it back up again.
For some reason, when she said Northern Ireland, it sucked the energy out of the room. For some reason, for me, I thought she was going to be down in Ireland where it's a lot of fun and so on, right?
Not allowed to interrogate her. Okay. I would have liked to have interrogated her.
No, there's nothing wrong with Northern Ireland.
There's nothing wrong with Northern Ireland. Valley,
when you see these movies about what was going on back then in Northern Ireland, you say, wow, how could that be happening?
Well,
I don't know if you saw it. I asked her, but the new movie just is out now.
Belfast, yeah.
Big time
We just saw it over the weekend, and I thought it was very good, very accurate about what was going on there.
All you had to do
50 years ago.
All you had to do is drive through South Boston in about 30 years ago, and you know what Belfast was about. Listen, Valerie, are you Irish at all, Valerie?
A little bit on my mother's side of the family, yeah.
That says that, okay. And your glasses are very attractive. They make you look like a superhero or something. Okay.
Yeah, superhero.
Well,
I said the same thing. They look great.
Yeah. So anyway.
This is a superhero.
And Mac LaFaso is a good Galway name.
Is it really? Yeah. Okay. All right. If you say so. So listen. So now the reason we're all here tonight has to do with bread. All right. Now, so I'm not even sure how to do this. I guess let me basically tell the story as I know it. X's friend. Will confirm X's friend will confirm everything. Then we're going to talk to Valerie because it looks like something maybe that some of the Valerie's, techniques and so on and knowledge and research might want to look into what happened. So X's friend was walking down the bread aisle in a Market Basket supermarket in Salem, New Hampshire, which is really close to where we all are. We're close to Boston, we're also close to New Hampshire. As he's walking down the bread aisle, he's by himself, all of a sudden a loaf of bread comes shooting out of the shelf where the loaves of bread are kept, almost hits him, and goes like across the aisle and just kind of lands there, like a missile type thing. So, being concerned, X's friend called over the guy sweeping up the floor, and, he said, what's going on here? And that guy said, a lot of that stuff happens here, especially at night when they're stocking the shelves. So then somehow X's friend calls a manager over and says, what's going on? And he can confirm that weird things happen there, especially at night. X, is that, how's that?
Well, I'll correct it as my friend told it to me.
Go.
he's walking down the aisle and looking for bread.
Go ahead. He's in the bread aisle.
My friend, and it was relatively uncrowded.
Go ahead.
The store was open.
The store's open. He's inside looking for bread.
Open. It was, by the way, 5:45 on an afternoon or evening.
Go ahead.
And it's light outside still then.
Mm-hmm.
And, any grocery store is well lit.
Okay.
So it was well lit.
Well lit.
And as he's thinking about whether he's going to get pumpernickel or whether he's going to get rye.
Interesting.
He's going down, and about 25 feet in front of him, one single loaf of bread projected off forcefully across the aisle.
Was it the brand that he wanted?
Did you maybe were you going to buy that brand?
It was a loaf of Wonder Bread.
See?
No, it was just before the Wonder Bread.
Wonder Bread, okay.
He went back to see what kind of bread it was.
Okay, what kind of? It was an Irish soda bread, I hope, right? Was it?
Okay.
It couldn't have just fallen off and been.
No, it wasn't falling off. It rocketed across the aisle, right?
Right.
That's exactly what he said. It didn't just fall off.
Okay.
It projected off.
Okay. So then your friend called over the one of the people who worked there, right?
Pardon?
Then your friend called over one of the people who worked there, and the kid said,
"No, that's not correct." He kept walking down, totally astonished by what he saw, and off to his right, outside of his field of vision, a worker came by.
Yes.
And he asked him, he said, "Did you just see that?"
Okay. Yes.
And the worker said, "Yeah, we see it a lot here.
Okay.
I've been working here for 11 years, and I'm convinced this place is haunted."
Wow. Okay.
Then he said, "Especially when I first worked here, I worked on the overnight stocking shift."
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I know none of you people have ever worked manual
How do you know?
labor.
How do you?
There is
How
such
dare
a
you?
thing as an overnight stocking shift.
No, I get it. I worked at a pillow factory.
Yeah. Hey, listen. He worked at a pillow factory.
So he said, and it's worse then. And then
at night. Okay.
he and I said, I'm my friend was really concerned.
Stunned. Go
and
ahead.
said,
yep.
What do you think? You should write something about it or whatever. He said, "No, it happens all the time."
Yes.
He picked up the loaf of bread, put it back in the shelf where it had come from. And as he's doing that, a supervisor, my friend didn't summon the supervisor.
Okay, the supervisor happened along.
Came down and said, "Is everything okay?"
Yes. Okay.
And they both looked at my friend and said, "Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And and my friend just continued walking and shopping, and then he found his pumpernickel bread.
Does your friend still shop at that particular
Is he still there?
supermarket?
Does he still go there?
Market Basket is a fantastic place.
Yeah, but if they throw the bread at you in there,
they made a movie about Market Basket.
Okay, hang on. That's true. Now, hang on a second. Hang on. I just want to say, now, the fact that you are friends with a writer, you think that he would give you hints on how to tell a story? No. Wow. Now look at him. All right, now I'm going to throw this over to Valerie because I told Valerie off here a couple of weeks ago about this story. And one of the first things she said, well, let me first say about Market Basket. If you live in this area, which is north of Boston and so on, Market Basket is a supermarket chain, and they're everywhere. And
formerly DeMoulas.
It's formerly DeMoulas,
right.
Maybe a little connected. No one really knows. But anyway, Market Basket, they're everywhere, okay? And the thing about them is, like when he said someone worked there for 11 years, it seems like a long time to work in the supermarket, but people go there, and that's their career. It's such a good place to work, apparently. And we go, and it's always the same. People are friendly, and there's never any problems, there. So anyway, so when they tried to kick out the guy who brought in this culture a few years ago, not only did the people go on strike, but people refuse to go and shop at the places. We were in Florida at the time. It was on the news all the time. We're going market basket. The customers stood up for the guy they were trying to fire. They brought him back, and that culture came back. And they show stuff about him, walking through the meat department, seeing a meat cutter and say, hey, how's your kid? We put him through college, and, who knows, what. But it seems like everyone is happy to work there. They're happy to work there. Anyway, I don't know how happy
the stores were closed, and the employees, they went on strike basically, like a work stoppage.
And the customers wouldn't
to
cross
support
the
the guy who was being ousted out. Or trying to be ousted.
But the best part of that story is the customers went on strike too.
Exactly.
They wouldn't cross the picket line.
So they were open for business.
So they made
hundreds and hundreds of customers joined the employees.
Mm-hmm.
That has never happened in some union strike.
That's right.
A supermarket. I mean, think about that for a second.
That is amazing. That's
anyway,
right.
so listen. So that's Market Basket up here, okay, for Raven, who probably doesn't know. So when I talked to Valerie at first about this, she says, I've never been in the Market Basket that didn't creep me out, right? Is that true, Valerie?
Yeah, I have nothing against Market Basket, but they're, as an energetically sensitive person, every time I go in a Market Basket, I'm uncomfortable.
Really?
It's not the people, it's not the workers. I was so impressed with the way the community came together, like when you were talking about the strike. It was amazing. I thought it was great, but there's something about those stores that is energetically different than any other place I've ever been. And it's, I've been in, different Market Baskets in different towns across Massachusetts and New Hampshire. So I don't know what it is.
But so
usually I'm just trying to get my stuff and get out.
Get out. Yeah. Well,
the older stores really creep you out. They got older lighting, older everything. And the whole format of the store is different. It's like out of the 50s.
Yes. Yeah, right. Yes. And then there's new stores.
A newer store like down the street.
You have like cafes and stuff in them.
Cafes, a donut shop, they watch TV, the whole
thing. They get really good donuts, man. Market Basket makes their own donuts, and they're really good. But anyway, that's another show. So up in this Salem, New Hampshire area, okay, because we did a little research, and just to show you how prolific Market Baskets are. There are 4 Market Baskets just in Salem, New Hampshire. Okay, which because it's
walking distance of each other.
It's on the border,
It's unbelievable.
And and I'm wondering. So let's say the show was going to send out an expedition to look into this. Valerie, you'd be the expedition lead. Okay, I mean, what would you do? Let's say you didn't. Let's say you were just going to go in undercover without talking to the managers or anything. How would you do it?
I would probably just walk through the store and, do a loop and go up and down a couple aisles and just try to get a feel for the place. And then, step outside and try to process what I was feeling. Right. I would probably want to go to some of the other stores too, to kind of do a comparison.
Yeah.
Because I think that would be interesting.
Yep. Do you think that if
Valerie, may I ask, because this is really interesting, I think.
Let's see.
In the same, what do they call it, a strip mall?
Yeah.
On the far left, there was a Kmart.
Right.
That closed about 12 months ago, my friend said.
So the ghost from there went over to Market Basket?
No, but it's interesting. And as you drive through the strip mall, and you look in the Kmart, which used to be this big bubbling, Kmart was bigger than Walmart.
Go ahead.
It was, yeah.
And now it's dark and dreary and everything else, but it's in the same overall structure.
Right.
And so I'm wondering if
Ghost from
my friend saw some Kmart wackos that came through.
Some Kmart ghosts. Okay. Thank you, X, for that question. But have you ever heard, Valerie, because you've investigated, ghosts and stuff like that, paranormal activity before. Have you ever heard of this phenomenon of bread shooting off a shelf or anything?
I've seen videos of convenience stores where stuff is flying off the shelves, and people always think that ghosts have to be in old spooky buildings, but in reality, a soul can hang out wherever it wants to. And, especially considering the loyalty that people have for the Market Basket company.
Yeah, wow.
It doesn't surprise me that somebody might still be there trying to do their job, or maybe just deciding to have some fun with the customers, Maybe they're bored because they're spending eternity
passed away
in the grocery store.
Well, here's
X, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Did you happen to check your friend? Did your friend happen to check the date on that bread? You know, some of that old bread.
But it is a good question. It relates to what Valerie said.
Okay.
He thought about it afterwards, and because he's not a dumb guy.
Well,
and there have been examples of a tether attached to something that pulls it across.
Yes.
But he looked around.
Yes.
And then he went back to check. And that entire part of the market basket is covered by cameras. So if this is a guy that worked there for 11 years.
Yes.
And it's prime shopping time, even though it wasn't particularly crowded.
Go ahead.
Why would he be so obsessed as to try to do that? But who the heck knows?
So let's go back to why sometimes you do see like bread, in like convenience store security cameras. They'll look at the place when no one's there, and the bread and stuff goes flying off the shelves and stuff. I have seen those type of things, but I mean, the fact that you said that the customer loyalty of the place is might have a key factor. As it turns out, there's another place. Not in Salem, New Hampshire, but another market basket close by, where people see this elderly lady shopping all the time. Like she's dressed, like when market basket first opened or something, and they try to follow her around and she disappears. Now that was like on Channel 5 2 or 3 years ago. So how odd is that?
She used to be in the bread aisle.
Yeah, the bread aisle.
So she was dressed in older attire, as if she.
Been there a while.
50s or 40s or something?
Yeah, well, like probably 50s, let's say.
Like clearly dated.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Yeah. And they'd see her shopping, and then they'd go, wow, there's that woman again. I mean, customers would see her, and she'd look out of place. And then, employees would just tell you, well, that's, people see her here all the time. She's like a ghost. So Valerie, let's say that we were able to get Market Basket to actually know that we were coming or something like that we were going to investigate. So how would you do that? Would you ask them for the videotape, or do you think it still exists?
And if they keep the recordings, it'd be really good at, to ask them to go back to that day and that time and see if they caught that on video, because that would definitely be good. You'd want to know, they said, this stuff like this happens all the time. So you'd want to know where the hot spots are. Where does the activity happen the most? Is there, 1 or 2 spots in the store where it seems to happen the most?
Okay.
You'd want some cameras and some of the other equipment to record things. And
let me ask you, can I ask you this? How about would you want to go in there for the late shift, the night shift when no one's there?
Absolutely.
All right, we should go. We should do this. Okay, this will be fun. Just go in there for the late shift at the Market Basket in Salem, New Hampshire, and see what happens. Okay, all right, we're on it. Probably. I mean, the only reason that I think that maybe they'd be okay with that is that I saw this TV report about this other place where the manager was talking about this lady in kind of out of date clothes is seen all the time. So maybe they'd be, okay with it, but we'll find out. But Valerie, either way, will you do an investigation for us, either under the radar or on the radar?
Absolutely. Can't wait.
Okay. So we'll call the Bread Ghost. The Bread Ghost, is that good enough? The Bread Ghost. Hey,
how about the Market Basket Ghost? Jeepers.
Yeah, that's a lot of words, though. That's a lot of words. Supermarket.
No, but it gives it a better identity, Mac. The Market Basket Ghost.
And Valerie, I'll defer to you, but I think any retail store, especially a chain, would love to be known for being haunted.
What? Well, I know about that.
It really it depends. It really depends on their management, and if they're believers, if they want the publicity, if they believe any publicity is good publicity, they'll be happy to let us come in. But if there's somebody in their upper level management who doesn't believe in this stuff, it might be a challenge.
Okay.
Well, I think it'll attract.
I'm not talking about a hotel where someone was stabbed to death. I'm talking about Market Basket.
Where'd that come from?
I can't imagine there'll be a problem.
Club.
Exactly.
Club, go ahead. Yeah. Club.
No, I'm just, to me, if I was the manager of that Market Basket, I wouldn't want that publicity.
Me neither. I wouldn't either.
Because you'll be attracting a whole different clientele.
But that's what I thought. But this place down, and I
you
think
get every ghost hunter in the United States flying up there, and they probably wouldn't spend a dime in the store. So,
Yes, they would.
if we do it, I'd like to go.
They would be like, I'm hungry after you get done with everything, and they'd buy like nuts.
Well, I tell them when we went in there that I'd do my week shopping there that night.
So listen, there's another place I think is in Tingsboro where they see this elderly lady, right? And that's what I thought when I was watching. It's on YouTube, but there's the manager, and it looks like he's like, we treat all kinds of customers here. He had some kind of thing, but at least he knew people.
Tingsboro, that's the market basket that was in the plaza that was built when they tore down the porno drive-in theater.
Well, that's why the ghost is
right.
There. Obviously, it's a ghost.
The porno drive-in theater was at that location.
Only one would know that geographical thing.
I would know that because I lived in the border town in
He Googled it.
Westford.
He Googled it.
Why don't we do this?
The ghost of John Holmes.
Let's take a. Oh man! Wow, wait. Why don't we take a commercial break now?
Look at. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. What's your theory on this? You're being outsider.
I would have to decide with Valerie on this. Look at the Cecil Hotel. How many people have died there, and people are flocking there to spend one night there.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I know if it was me and I heard that my local grocery store was haunted, I would be going there constantly.
No kidding. Yes.
Okay, I can see
I
that
would want
now.
to try to find something.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Would just
100%. I agree. I think it is a definite plus, and because it's not a hotel.
Yeah, but
and they're
they
not
know
sending you to the room where the woman was stabbed. It's a
right.
big,
Hopefully not. All right, let's take a commercial break now.
Supermarket.
On that note.
It's great. I think it's great publicity for them.
Why don't we take a commercial break now? We'll be right back after this. There's a monster in Tokyo Bay, hundreds of feet tall and breathing fire. It's able to destroy whole cities, sink entire battle fleets, and knock swarms of jet fighters from the sky. But there's another even more dangerous resident of the bay. A secretive psychopath intent on covering the planet with nuclear-armed booby traps unless the world's population bends to their demands. Meanwhile, a mysterious group of reborn medieval warriors has taken to the air. Strange signals are being picked up from outer space, and witnesses report seeing hundreds of ghost planes flying in the night skies over Tokyo. Sailing off the coast of Japan aboard the United American Navy's mega aircraft carrier, the USS USA, it's Hawk Hunter, the Wingman. He must investigate these unusual occurrences while trying to thwart the criminal's apoplectic plan. But will his actions save the planet or lead to World War IV? Find out in Mack Maloney's exciting new novel, The Jericho Storm. Filled with dozens of dogfights, sea battles, and brutal hand-to-hand combat, The Jericho Storm is book 21 in Mack's best-selling Wingman series. Team up with Hawk's longtime allies, as well as a few new ones, including fighter pilots Switchblade Steve Ward and Jocko Johnson. That's Wingman 21, The Jericho Storm. On sale now at your local bookstore and on Amazon. Welcome back, everyone, to Mack Maloney's Military X-On Show here on the Distant Thunder Radio Network. This is Macaroni. Wow, what a show this has turned out to be. But girls, get ready. He's here. Very famous Juan.
Hello, Mac. Hello, girls. It's been a fun night so far. Really wacky show.
Well, because you drink that licorice beer. What is that? What's that stuff you're drinking? Coffee and beer or something?
KBS.
What is that?
KBS coffee and chocolate. What more could one want in a beer?
What's the alcohol content? It's like 12% or something.
Ferments in a cask, a bourbon cask or something. I don't know, some crazy
coffee and chocolate. Really?
What did you just show me, Raven? What were you drinking?
Okay, we'll get to her in a
This is
second.
raspberry jammin'.
Okay,
5.2%.
5.2.
Well, if you have 20 of them,
that's rocking.
Okay. That's our good friend, favorite good witch up there in Sideways, New York. Raven is with us. Raven.
Hi, my friends.
Okay. I still got to take a drive up there to see you, Raven.
Oh, well, we'll take a road trip. We'll take the Winnebago up there and see it.
Please come.
Okay.
You're always welcome.
Okay. All right. I got to give you a heads up and just do the drive. Hop in the car and do the drive.
Oh, would you rather surprise you?
But do save up and have $700 for gas to get there.
All right, relax.
Yes.
Relax with you with all your money, with all the money that you took out of the federal government. With the pension you get,
28 miles a gallon on the Challenger.
Yeah. Well, he has a Hummer, just like 2 miles a gallon. It's Willie Club is here. Joining us from Waltham, right? Is that where your new HQ is? Waltham, Willie Club, our security chief.
It begins with a W, but it's not Waltham.
Wilburn.
Woburn.
Not
Woburn. Not Woburn. It's Woburn.
If he lived
we have a very nice store here.
Yep. Okay. All right. if you lived
that
in
sells
Wynnum,
good bread, and it doesn't jump off the.
Well, you don't know that. Just in the days of your.
You know when a store operator says, "Yeah, I got these products. They're flying off the shelves, man."
There you go. Maybe that's where that came
there
from.
after the show. I'm going to find out.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us there, Willie. Everything okay with you?
Thank you for having me, man.
Okay, you look good. You almost look like you have that priest
I
collar
tried.
on again. Are you trying to scare us or what?
Well, yeah, it doesn't take much to scare you guys.
No, that's true. Also with us is Agent X.
That's right.
Work for the agency that works for the agencies. X. You're hanging in there.
Thanks for having me, and I've had fun too.
Okay, you got the scally cap. You got
and
the,
I don't think our prior guest could really comprehend Gaelic.
We'll see. So you got the shades on. You got the scally cap on.
This is my Mack Maloney outfit.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got his longshoreman scally hat.
Oh, he's right. Yeah, okay. All right.
Well done.
Joining us.
I think that's what it was back then. It was called the longshoreman hat. Scally. You're right.
This is a Donegal tweed, by the way. It's woven in Ireland.
Okay.
The brand is Shandon.
Put that back in your head, will you?
My daughter was in Scotland for a while.
You're scaring us.
On a work visit, and she bought it for me.
Very good.
My daughter
didn't cost $2.36.
Yeah, maybe.
This one did a while back.
This one, I think, 20 years ago I got it.
Oh.
X still has money he made on his paper route. Hey, listen, Valerie LaFaso, joining us.
I do.
Ghost Hunter, also empath. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Having me back. Love being here and talking about ghosts.
Okay. We've previously remarked that your shades look like you should be out in Hollywood somewhere or whatever. Yes or no?
Okay.
Hey, Raven, did I introduce you? It's so far back.
No, I don't believe you.
Oh,
because I was surprised that.
I jumped right over
Raven.
to okay, Raven.
Doesn't happen.
We do have a pecking order here, don't we?
I'm sorry. We'll fix it in editing. Our favorite good witch up there in Sideways, New York. Raven's with us. Raven.
Hi.
Okay.
I thought I was introduced.
I did too.
I
but
must have.
I got a signal from the producer
okay.
saying, "Okay, all right, okay."
Okay, we got the two hot chicks with long hair. You know, I'm a big long hair fan. And Valerie's got awesome long hair.
Okay,
it's red hair, right? I've seen you in person. Yeah,
it's a good thing you're moving the ink
awesome.
on there, pal. So Valerie is with us. She's a empath and a ghost hunter and a lot of different other things. She's up here in this, part of the world, right? The Portsmouth area or so? Right now? Okay.
Right in Portsmouth.
Okay, now...
Talk about ghosts there. There's going to be a lot of ghosts in Portsmouth.
Yeah, Portsmouth prison stuff, yeah.
I've got to ask Raven and Valerie.
Go ahead.
Are you getting weirded out about people obsessing on your hair?
Wait, stop. Come on, man, because I got to edit this.
Because... never mind.
Okay.
Why?
I mean, at least no one's ever, broke into my house and snaked my drain and taken my hair out of my shower.
So
it's there's always that. At least that's
that
never
happens.
happened.
That might happen at some point.
That happens. Trust me. I saw it on a TV show.
No, wait a minute. It must be true then.
100%.
Really? So you mean some guy who was stalking this chick, broke in her house and took the hair out of her drain to kind of remember her by?
Okay. Yes and no.
Yes.
Good. Okay, he wasn't stalking anyone. He was obsessed with the thrill of finding hair in a. It's really weird. It's really messed up.
I get the hair.
One has that.
Collects, yeah.
He goes to a group.
Of course, you would want one.
I get it.
Wow. Okay. Good. So anyway, Valerie, I was going to say you're an empath. Could you take the pulse of the show? But probably I don't even have to ask
you need me to do that.
Okay. So anyway, we're all here, and
oh my God.
Coco's not here and Switch is not here, but they'll be here, soon in a future show. So anyway, why don't we do this? So we have this really scary story, and it turns out that this show turns out to be about scary things. It's kind of strange, it's not really UFOs, but we've talked about really odd things, some odd things in Northern Ireland, as it turns out. But expect the unexpected. So why don't we, Raven, I know that you have a story, right, which she, said to me yesterday. And I'm reading this thing. I'm going, what this is nuts. But when you look into the people who've looked into it, it's just one of these crazy stories. You say, how could this happen? So please, Raven, what's the name of the place now? It's a pub in England, right, or somewhere over there?
So it's northern
Yep.
Northern Yorkshire, but it's specifically. Oh gosh, let me find the name of the place.
It's got to be England. Yorkshire's in England. Yorkshire Pudding.
It's Yorkshire, England.
Yes.
England, yeah.
But it's oh gosh.
It's okay.
Don't worry, I'll come to it.
Oh, yeah,
it's in my notes.
So, Mama, what are you drinking tonight? Okay.
We're in England, and we're talking about the chair of death. And it was the
chair
favorite
of death.
chair.
The chair of death. Yes.
Whoa.
Correct. This was the favorite seat of all-around thug Thomas Bisbee. Bisbee. It's a really hard name to say. I'm sorry. Busby. And he was the owner of the Busby Stoop Inn in Yorkshire, England. Busby was convicted of the murder of his father-in-law and fellow thug, Daniel Autry, in 1702. Legend holds that Busby bludgeoned Autry with a hammer for sitting in his favorite chair. But some sources say that he was strangled and not bludgeoned. It depends on what you read. Some of them say one thing, some say the other.
Yeah, tomato.
So on his way to the gallows, Busby requested that he visit his pub so that he could have one last drink, and he wanted to sit in his chair one more time.
Nice.
After he finished his ale, he drunkenly grumbled, "May sudden death come to anyone who dare sit in my chair." The seat remained in the pub for centuries after Busby was hanged, according to local legend. And the seemingly ordinary piece of furniture was responsible for more than 60 deaths. So
60 deaths. 60 deaths. I think they had this chair down the grog one on, right? Oh, listen, I shouldn't.
Just for sitting on it? Was it after they sat on it?
No, just for sitting on it, right? Just for...
Wow.
So I'll get to that.
Go ahead.
So actually, during World War II, the pub became a regular hangout for soldiers, and men who sat in Busby's chair would never return from the war. In 1967, 2 Royal Air Force pilots sat in his chair, and while driving back to their base, they crashed into a tree and they died on impact. A few years later, a bricklayer sat in the chair and fell to his death that afternoon. The chair supposedly killed everyone who sat in it or even touched it. A cleaning woman at the pub stumbled into the chair while mopping and later died. They said from a brain tumor. It's debated on what it was.
Yeah, sure.
So it's hard to. Typically for people who technically sat in the chair, they died within hours.
Within hours.
If you kind of bumped it, it was more like you were in it for the long haul.
Oh, really?
And you were going to die later.
Like getting bit by a Komodo dragon. Okay. At one point, You're just going to die. Well, so why would you have the chair out? That's my first question. But that's just from me.
So, they had it out, and at that point, the person who owned the pub decided that too many people were dying, basically.
I'm losing business,
and they were going to store it. So they did move it to the basement. However, it really didn't work out because a handyman was in the building doing handyman stuff.
Yep.
Screwing things in and doing hammers, all that stuff.
Yes.
And he sat in the chair to take a rest. And within an hour, he ended up dying also in a car accident. So it didn't even make a difference putting it in the basement.
Yeah, really? Okay. Crazy.
Yeah. Ultimately, what the owner did was they asked that the local museum, Thirsk, England, that's where we are.
Thirsk.
I apologize.
Thirsk.
So there is the Thirsk Museum.
Yes.
They accepted the donation of the chair.
Yes.
And what they did, so that nobody would sit in it because everybody wanted to sit in it to see what would happen.
Yes.
They ended up hanging it in the museum 5 feet above the ground, and they drilled it into the wall. So I can send you guys a picture to show you, but I encourage anyone who's listening to Google this and you'll get what I'm talking about. But the chair is essentially just drilled into the wall of this museum 5 feet above the ground so that nobody sits in it because so many people have died from it. At this point, at this current moment, the Busby Stoop Inn ended up closing around 2012, and the location is now an Indian restaurant called I'm going to apologize in advance.
Go ahead.
the Jaipur spice.
Oh, yeah, that's very famous. Yeah. People dying to get in.
I
How
looked
about
up
that?
the menu. Okay, this place sounds amazing. First of all, I looked up the menu. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it looks really good.
Okay, good.
But,
I love Indian food.
Yeah.
it's so good.
Yeah, it better be prepared well. You'll regret it. But anyway, wow, that's crazy. So, but see, can I just jump in here for a second? Just like we were talking about earlier, would the whole idea that a place was haunted or had something strange happen in it, would that apply to this market basket? Does it bring more people in?
Sure.
Or does it? See, I can see tons of people coming to this tavern saying, "Where's the death chair?" I can see that.
So I did look that up because it was in 1702. So it's like, that.
17.
That's all. It's, a couple years ago.
That was a creepy era.
Okay.
Yes. And so they've made a pretty good transition of going from the Busby Stoop Inn to this new restaurant.
Yep.
So they've basically scrapped everything to make it out like it's a completely new place.
Yeah.
They've distanced themselves from the old name. So I don't think a lot of people are coming there because of what did happen.
Yep.
I think it's just like that history that's embedded in the building itself. But people really are at the point where this is really good Indian food. We're going to eat here because of this, not because of this.
But where's the chair? Isn't the chair hanging from the ceiling or something?
So yes, but from the museum.
Oh, okay. Museum. All right. Wow.
Not from the pub.
Why wouldn't you I'll throw this to Valerie because she's a ghost hunter. Why wouldn't you just take the chair apart, get rid of it, burn it?
Fortunately, a lot of people want the attention from things like that. They want the publicity. There's so many people, especially right now, obsessed with these weird paranormal things.
Yes.
And, people are willing to make money off of that type of thing.
Like Michael Jackson wanted to buy the Elephant Man's remains, right? More or less. Yeah. I mean, why would you do that?
Yeah. Do you really want to mess with that chair? I don't think so.
No.
Start sawing it in pieces or something.
Well, that's true.
But
probably be dead on the spot.
Point,
that's a good point.
What if you dismantle the chair, but the spirit is still there?
It sure is.
That it could be attached to maybe not something physical. Maybe it's more of a spiritual attachment.
I think if you dismantle it, it's going to go into your body. It's
your body, yes.
Probably live in you after you destroy the night.
It does depend on the spirit. So you would want somebody you trust to try to figure out what is making this happen to the chair and can it be safely removed or moved on or whatever.
I mean, that's weird. Basically it starts off with a guy cursing the chair. All right. And it's almost like the curse kind of, took effect.
It did. Everybody died.
Valerie.
It's not like it's haunted.
Do be advised.
It's cursed.
There is a big difference between the death chair, where everybody gets killed horribly, and a piece of bread flying off in market basket.
That's true. That's true.
Jeepers.
Never the twain shall be
related.
Yeah, that's right.
Can
never know.
Anybody else not see the contrast?
We have to be a TV show. And we make believe we're at a bar, so we look at X right now. He looks like the guy that
at Market Basket X. After that incident, they management initiated an edict for employees, associates to not be loafing around.
Not to be. Wow. Okay.
Otherwise, they'd have
loafing.
An hour and a half in the show.
They'd have to sit in the death chair, right?
Yeah, he's doing material. Okay.
That's showbiz, baby.
Thank you, JJ.
I don't know what to tell you.
So listen, we have to take a technical ad break right now, and we'll be right back. Seriously, after this, you're listening to Mack Maloney's Military Express Show here on the Distant Thunder Radio Network. The whole gang is here. Please stay tuned.
Do you know where the world's most secret bases are located? Do you know what spooky action at a distance means? Is there a conspiracy by aliens to prevent us from conquering space? And where is the best place in the United States to see a real UFO? Find the answers to all these questions and more in Mack Maloney's new book, Mack Maloney's Haunted Universe. Visit places you never knew existed, the Phantom Tunnels of Tokyo, the UFO Trail in South America, Ong's Hats, and the very mysterious M Triangle. Mack Maloney's Haunted Universe contains hundreds of reports on ghosts, haunted planes and ships, weird celebrity deaths, mysterious sounds, and a breakdown of every monster in America, state by state. You've heard him talk about it on the radio. Now, get all of Mack's paranormal research in one large volume. Mack Maloney's Haunted Universe, with a foreword by the very famous Juan Juan. On sale now in your local bookstore or on Amazon.com.
Mr. X-Now Show here on the Distant Thunder Radio Network. Once again, this is Mack Maloney. Wow, what a show this turned out to be. Girls, hope you're sitting down. The very famous Juan Juan is here.
Hello, Mac. This has been a great show. Girls, if you're just tuning in, you missed some stuff, but I think you might be able to catch it again on demand, as they say.
Okay, on demand. All right.
On demand.
Sounds kinky. Hey, listen, speaking of kinky, no Coco tonight. No Coco tonight. He sent me an email and explained in like 10 pages why he's working on a top secret project. Right?
Did he tell you what the secret was after the 10
I don't know.
pages?
I dropped out. I fell asleep after page 3. Frankly, I'm sure that he probably did. No switch tonight either. He's moving his headquarters. He is lamenting to me on Messenger that he shouldn't have collected so much stuff over the years. Apparently, he's been able to like fill an entire moving truck with just his books, as it turns out. Mm-hmm. Obviously, he hasn't written to anyone else. Yeah, but he'll be back on very, very soon.
Oh, good.
I'm going to save the best for last. Well, I have a reason for that. Club, not that you're not the best. Willie Club, our security chief, looking in on us tonight. How we been tonight? Behaving ourselves there, Willie, more or less?
I got to say, Mac, yeah, I'm impressed. There's just so much going on tonight.
Yes.
You know, I could not offer anything tonight. It's just
good.
Too much here.
Yeah, good.
So
okay.
I'm having a great time.
No news is good news. Okay.
It's like a boiled dinner. Everything is in it. It's kind of, you stir it up and
put some mustard on it.
Vinegar and off and running.
Vinegar.
Yeah.
Well done.
That's right, Raven.
That's Thursday, baby. Oh, man, that's the only time I eat corned beef is on St. Patrick's Day. But if you get that done right, it's primo.
Oh, done right, it's delish.
Speaking of corned beef, Agent X is with us, the man who works for the agency, that works for the agencies. X.
Thank you for having me. It's
Yes.
been a real lot of fun.
Yes.
And I'm especially pleased that Juan Juan has the Rolling Stones plaque behind him.
Still not washed. Still not laundered, right?
No, it's fine. It's
fine. Oh.
It self-cleans.
How many times? The famous last words. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's
hey,
fine.
listen. A special guest
I feel
joining
like
us.
taking it off. I love it. Hey, there's a new logo now for the new tour. That's the new European tour. It's called the 60 logo.
What is it? The tongue?
Well, there's
the
Rolling
tongue is
Stones,
bigger?
as you know, kicked off the European tour for this year.
Go ahead.
Starting in Madrid, Spain, going through Liverpool, Hyde Park,
Liverpool,
Amsterdam, all those places that I hope to visit when I move over there.
Go ahead.
I was reluctant to buy a ticket now with my American Express card because I'm thinking, shit, what if something happens and we don't get there by June?
What if the Rolling
After all,
Stones?
I'm trying to get there for the Queen's Jubilee.
Okay, 20 minutes.
Now that's
the
a
Queen.
tough ticket.
Stop. All right, just stop. Okay, let's move on.
The Queen's Jubilee.
Let's move on.
Come on.
Okay.
It's June.
It's like a dessert to me. Okay. All right. So, thank you, X, for joining us, et cetera, et cetera. Our special guest tonight, Valerie LaFaso, our favorite empath, also ghost hunter. Valerie, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me back.
Mm-hmm.
You bet, Valerie.
Okay. Now, just think about it here for a second, okay? You've been with us now for about a half hour or so. Just look at everybody. What kind of vibe, if you had to put it in a blender, what would you say the vibe is? You know, when I say vibe, I mean, you know what? She's thinking a long time there. That's not good.
The vibe overall, the vibe overall is good. I mean, you guys are like the gas prices and Snoop Dogg. You know, it's up there. So it's good.
Oh, hang on.
How about that comparison? I love it.
Snoop Dogg.
I have zero clue what that means.
That's to be expected. Didn't Snoop Dogg just get arrested for murder?
Golly.
Okay. Hey, listen, can I just say this? I mean, you know, we'll get into other things later, but you know how Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart, they're in this kind of, you know, conglomeration together. They're like
boofs. It's the best.
Yeah. They're bumping, you know what I mean, right? They're bumping,
Bump and grind, yep.
They're bumping. Raven would know.
Wait, what?
They're
Do you guys think they're...
Yes, bumping.
No.
Come on. How would you know?
They're BFFs.
Oh, well, you know
Okay.
what that means.
All right.
Come on. And believe me, I know Snoop Dogg. He's a friend of mine from high school. He would jump on that. Anyway, so...
Am I the only one here over 15 years old?
Yes. Hey, there's some kids on your lawn.
Yeah, I'm 16. Okay, X, I'm 16.
You look it.
Okay. I thought that Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart were just like really, really good friends.
You're adorable. Come on.
They probably are. I think Mac's just kind of stretching extrapolating.
I mean, Snoop
Am I
Dogg,
that
she's,
dumb?
she's
Oh
his
my-
grandmother. You kidding me?
Well, you know, some
the
guys
age
like
difference?
that. Hey, listen, we
It doesn't matter these days, Club. Doesn't matter.
It does to me.
Valerie.
There's no age difference thing anymore. No age
Wait, though.
difference criteria.
Martha Stewart is what? 5 years older than
Hey, she's been in
Oh, she's
jail.
probably in her 70s.
Snoop likes that.
No, she's not.
Yes, she
no.
No, she is. No,
You
she's.
have to Google her now.
She's up
Guys,
there.
how dumb am I? I'm
All right.
Googling it right now.
Valerie.
Oh, Martha Stewart. She's been around the block, Raven. Where have you been?
Oh, she's got to be.
In a womb.
Valerie, let me
I'm pretty
apologize.
proud of myself for starting this for you.
Oh,
jeez.
God.
She did. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Right. Okay. So, Valerie, just
She's 80.
no, she's not 80.
Born in 1941, ladies and gentlemen.
Martha Stewart is 80,
You're so
Yeah,
full
she
of
is.
it.
No, she is.
and Snoop is hitting that. Snoop is hitting
I
that.
couldn't
That's
wait to
bad.
get in her bedroom, huh?
Wake her up.
I mean, she's not bad looking for 80. I mean, you know.
She
I'm
looks
not going-
amazing for 80.
I'm not going
That's
by
for
these
sure.
pictures. And there's a picture of her and Snoop.
How old is Snoop?
50.
What?
What's Snoop doing?
Oh, I can't. I'm
Okay.
done. I'm done.
Like I
I
say, I
quit.
don't know how to
I'm done.
Google here. Okay. All right. Well, listen.
I don't have a clue who Snoop is.
That's good.
But
That's
I've,
good.
I've vaguely heard of Martha Graham,
Yeah, Martha Graham. Wowee.
whatever her name is.
If I told you
Stewart.
now the job that X used to do, you'd be so frightened you would move somewhere, right? Would you say that's right there, X? When you used to man the crisis center there? Can we talk about that? I guess-
Yes. But it had nothing to do with Martha Stewart or whoever
See what I
Snoopy
mean?
Snoop is.
No, my case is closed.
Okay, I just sent you a link.
Okay.
Everybody's got the link.
So, Valerie, let me get back to you. So, when did you get interested in, like, ghosts and stuff like that? Were you a kid?
Yeah, I've been obsessed with ghost stories for as long as I can remember, but I had experiences with ghosts as a kid, and I think that's why.
What came first? Were you reading, or then you had, like, an experience, or vice versa? Do you remember?
I think the experience probably happened first
I
because it started when I was really young.
Really? Yeah? Like someone would appear just like we would imagine a ghost to look like?
Kind of like I would just feel them in my room and like I could feel them touching me.
Ooh.
And I would like call out for my mom and my mom would come in and be like, there's nobody here.
Yeah. And any idea who they were, or just someone who might have lived in the house or whatever?
I don't know. It just at the time it scared me. But no, I never figured out who it was.
Yeah, right. I got to tell you, and I am someone who have not had any kind of paranormal experience in my life. I've never seen a UFO or anything like that. I've never seen a ghost. I've never seen a cryptid or, whatever. But I can tell you this, is that one year, a bunch of us in college, we rented a cottage down in Seabrook Beach. You guys know where that is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But along a nice part of Seabrook Beach, for the winter.
There's a nice part of it.
Yeah, for the winter, a bunch of college guys crashing there, and had 4 bedrooms as a cottage. And I would go into this one room, and before I'd fall asleep, I could hear people talking. I could just hear people talking. They were, I was in another room for a while, couldn't hear them, but in this particular room, and there was no one on either side of us. We were the only people in the neighborhood because it's a summer neighborhood, and that was strange. And that I would just say, well, I can hear them talking again, and you can never explain it or whatever, but they were definitely there. So it is weird. It's like you said earlier, you can't predict where ghosts are going to decide to, hang their hat, right?
They don't always do what we think they're going to do. And their intent has everything to do with it. If somebody dies in Market Basket and they think that I'm dead and I'm stuck here, then they are stuck there.
Oh, that's a
that's
bummer.
it's
Yes,
their
yes.
belief that keeps them stuck. Nothing else.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Wow. X just sent me an email, a text. He says, "I hope I die in tens in Salisbury." Local joke. Local joke.
Who sent that to you?
Wow. So
I never sent him that.
So
I've never been in tens. when it was
I just got the point of the story.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Sure. Okay. So, Valerie, so I mean, when you think back on your childhood and you there were ghosts there, but you weren't sure who they were, did you ever, as you grew older, could you make an educated guess? Were they people? I always think they're people who just were in the house originally, and they just can't get out of the house.
Now, I think for the first one that I experienced, it was probably a family member that passed away that was just checking in on me, because I remember they were stroking my hair and comforting me, but I didn't know who it was, so it scared me. I don't think they were trying to scare me. So I can guess at that it may have been a relative just based on that, but for a really long time, because the experiences weren't like they are on TV and in movies and stuff, I didn't really think of them as paranormal experiences until much later on. So I was a lot further removed from it when I went, oh, that's what that was. Remember that now. Okay. Maybe that was a ghost.
See, and we've talked about this before, that there are certain people who are born to, they're inclined to kind of experience this stuff. I am not. Raven, you seem like you've run into it a lot in your life, right?
Yeah, there's always stuff going on here. I mean, my house it's an old house. You have to assume that people have most likely passed on here. So there's always things going on. I mean, my animals are always looking at things that I don't know what they're looking at.
That would scare me.
There's no rhyme or reason.
Yep.
They're fixated on something, and it's something I can't see.
Yeah, so, yeah. Yep. We should try to
you have to assume that there's things that are maybe in this realm that is in between that you just can't see.
We can't see. Like we were talking about the lions and the antelopes earlier. So that's what scares me a lot, is that, I've heard of people, firsthand who have said their dog, who had slept, at the foot of their bed for 20 years, never moving, got up one night and started barking at something in the corner of the bedroom as if they were barking at a person. Never did it before, never did it since, and it scared the crap out of my aunt and uncle. It's what? Why would the dog do that? Unless he could see something we can. And I have talked about this before, where when someone comes into a room, how a cat reacts to it. The cat will just kind of, saunter over to it, but definitely check it out, okay? They see cats doing that and no one's there. I mean, why is he doing it? One thing. Go ahead.
One thing, Mac, it's generally believed that, when you've got a ghost in your house, that it's someone that died a violent death.
Okay.
It's not some happy person. They're there because of some violent death, and
they say
that they're not there to be nice to you, that they have other intentions.
But they're stuck. As Valerie said, they're stuck.
That's in some cases, but Eileen sees her dad once in a while, or senses her dad there. And
wow.
He just died from a heart attack, but not in this house, in her house.
Go ahead, Raven.
It's all about what they believe when they die. It doesn't necessarily, a violent death doesn't equate to a haunting all the time. Right. If they believe that they're going to pass on, they'll pass on. If they believe they'll get stuck, they'll be stuck. My father was raised Catholic, and so he was stuck for about 3 years after he passed away because, he stole a pencil in the 5th grade, and you're not supposed to steal as a Catholic. So
I did that.
His fear of going to hell kept him stuck.
Yes.
Until he got to a point where he went, okay, I'm ready to move on. And he moved on.
That's like what 5 of us have to look forward to. Yes.
Pencil when you're 5 years old.
Yeah, they do a job.
Mac, just to confirm what you said.
Go ahead.
As I mentioned before, I never had COVID, right, to all of this.
We don't mention that on the show, but go ahead.
I know. But so I looked it up. Why didn't I get it? Everybody else did.
All right, okay. So listen. So anyway, Valerie, do you have to, is there any place can you go to study how to be a ghost hunter, or is it all self-research?
No, there's not really a place you can go to learn. I know there's, in our area, Circles of Wisdom is in Haverhill, and they occasionally have somebody in that does some ghost hunting stuff.
Yeah.
So, you can look online for places like that, and, watch the shows, read the books.
Yep.
Really, but think about what is possible and what's out there, and do what you think is right, because not all the methods out there are good.
Work, yes. Hey, listen, now plug your books when you have plug your books real quick. Then we'll get to Raven.
Yeah, my books. So my books are fiction. It's young adult paranormal fiction. It's Tangled Web of Friends, and there are 3 books currently in the series and a 4th book on the way, hopefully before the end of the year.
Yes. Okay, cool. Raven, please go ahead.
My whole thing is, no, I don't remember what I was going to say.
That's good.
Oh, man.
We love that. Okay. All I can think of is look at us 4 guys with these 2, I don't want to say it, but 2
awesome chicks.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, say it.
I'm sorry. It's all right. I said awesome chicks.
I'm free to say it anytime.
I was going to say smoke shows, but that's okay.
Smoke shows.
So. Well, listen, let's get back to the flying bread incident real quick, okay? So, Valerie, if we can set it up, you'll go in, we'll either go in undercover or on the radar and see what's up, okay?
Definitely. I'm there.
Okay. All right. We'll do that. Is that Willie Club? Is that okay? Can we pass security with that? Will you come with us?
Oh, I think so, yeah. In fact, I'd like to go with her.
Will you?
Do that.
Well, I'm going to go with her. Will you care?
Willie Club would be perfect. You could put a cell phone just in your pocket with video recording.
He's right.
No one's going to know.
No one would suspect him. But me, they'd have someone tailing from I'd go in the door and out the door.
Trust me, someone will come in with their pants around their ankles and they'll be like, who cares about this guy?
Pete said he never saw it on the video. I don't know whether to believe him or not.
They'll say, there's a kindred spirit.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, listen, on that note, Valerie, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. Putting up with us. And you'd say, overall the show vibe was, a B plus.
The show vibe was good. I could tell you guys we're getting pretty punchy here at the end, but you're definitely good.
Wow, we've been calling many things. I'm not sure punches. Thank you very much.
It's way past Mack's bedtime.
Yeah, right. And listen, X, thank you very much for joining us. Okay, you look like you go to sleep. We appreciate that. Willie Club, okay, do we pass tonight? We didn't violate any laws. We're not going to get any letters from attorneys.
Well, I got to listen to the show again just to be sure. A couple of spots there, particularly with X. I had a little concern, but
yes.
So I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah.
Jury's still out.
Tell me about it. Okay. All right.
Well, thank you, Whitey.
Thank you, Whitey.
Anytime, X.
I got that out, so. Raven, it's the time of the night we have to say goodbye to you. Goodbye, Raven.
Thank you so much for having me. It's so much fun. I always learn so much.
Is it really?
Good night.
See you, Raven.
Okay, we appreciate it.
Good night, Eggs.
Give us a call if you remember what you were going to say before.
Right. Let us know.
I will.
Okay. All right. JJ, thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon.
You're welcome. Always a pleasure.
I'm having all kinds of problems with my computer, like big-time problems, if you know what I mean.
No.
Yes. Okay.
Well, I got to go down there and help you out.
All right. Thank you very much.
I'll be here for a while.
Let me do the plugs real quick. Homes for Our Troops. Homes for Our Troops is a military organization. We had them on last week for the World War II trivia show. Bombastic. What would Variety say?
The general. He was awesome.
Boffos, right. Homes for Our Troops is a military organization that raises money to build homes for injured veterans from post 9/11 war theater. Let's say Afghan war and also the Iraqi war. They come home maybe missing a limb or whatever. Homes for the Troops builds them the home, makes it so it's more adaptable for them, like lower counter space and stuff like that, and then gives them the home, tears up the mortgage. It's theirs forever. They don't have to pay for it. And these people deserve it. And it turns out that 85% of the people who are given homes by Homes for Our Troops go on to lead productive lives. 85% is really high. I hate to say it, but it's really high for a disabled veteran, okay? General Tom was on with us last week, and they've built something like 350 homes so far. I mean, this is not just some, kind of rickety-dicky type thing.
They're not tiny homes necessarily.
Yeah. They're $450,000 homes. He came out and said about it. So that's good. Anyway, Homes for Our Troops, it's all based on your contributions. 88 cents on every dollar goes towards our veterans, and that's a very high thing in the charity biz. So please, Homes for Our Troops, support them. Also, Ross Sharp and his Mad Englishman friends are putting back together a World War II warplane called the Mosquito, made of wood, put the Rolls-Royce engines on it. And it was the fastest thing in the war for a long time. So fast, they didn't put guns on them because, why?
Because it would outrun the bullets.
It could outrun the bullets. That's how fast this thing was, okay? And Ross and his friends putting it back together. Should be ready in about a year or so. It's going to be one of these classic kind of warbirds, but Walwan has agreed to be the first civilian to fly in and on the test flight. Correct, Walwan?
That's right. As crazy as that may sound, I volunteered to do that. Whether they select me or not, I don't know.
No parachute.
Without a parachute.
No parachute.
That's right.
Yep. Okay.
Got a parachute.
I think we're going to be flying low enough where a parachute won't function, but
won't make any
maybe
difference.
If something happens, I could just jump out. I don't know.
Just bring a camera with you.
Good man you are.
But I feel good
No,
about it.
you can't do the tuck and roll.
Yeah. He feels good about it. That's good.
I'm going to try and get one of those cool aviator scarves.
Yes.
Says blow it in the wind.
Yes, like Snoopy.
Like
That'll look good.
It was my dog's Halloween costume.
Really? Wow. Did he know? So listen, yeah, that'll look good. That's the final frame of the movie they want one. Just the scarf going down. Boom.
One, do remember how many aviators in World War I, especially, but less so in World War II, were killed by their scarves getting caught in something.
Don't believe him. He's making that up right now. Listen.
Maybe a lot. I have no idea.
None of them.
Was it a problem?
Thousands.
I mean, there's not in the thousands. They'd have them. They would have them not wear scarves if it's in the thousands. What do you?
Yeah, but then they wouldn't be cool.
What happened? Did they get caught in a propeller or something? What
really
happened?
cool.
When they get shot or when they had aviation combatics.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Their scarf would get caught in whatever got blown off. Or
Thousands? Thousands?
Oh.
That happened.
Okay.
You can do. I don't do Google, but do DuckDuckGo.
It's
DuckDuckGo.
DuckDuckGo. Yes.
I'm going to do Alta Vista.
Okay. Look.
Yes. Or that.
We can edit
Alta
it
Vista.
to right here. Alta Vista.
Yahoo.
All right. Here we go. I'm sorry. We'll edit it
We're
to
off track here.
Here. Anyone who wants a bag of swag can get in touch with us by emailing mackmaloney.com. Hit the contact button. And follow the instructions there and send us your mailing address, not your email address so much as your mailing address, and we'll send you out a bag of swag. Now, the current bag of swag contains 2 pins, 2 collar pins, 2 decals, 2 something else in the bar coasters.
Half a dozen coasters.
Yeah, I'm coming to that. Okay. We got a whole thing with the coasters. It might turn out to be all we can send out as the coasters, but everyone is into this thing where they get the coasters and they, go into a bar and leave the coasters there. So the bag of swag, just go to mackmaloney.com, hit the contact button. We'll send you out the bag of swag. And we know that they reached Northern Ireland because she had her bar coaster with her.
That's right. That's amazing.
So I think that's it. One, we have a lot of interesting shows coming up. But who knows? The World War II trivia show, like I said, was Boffo. Thank you for everyone who, joining in on that, for our homes, for our troops. And
those are good questions in that trivia show.
I agree.
Yeah, it took me about a week.
Well-researched,
Very good questions. Yeah.
I agree. Even though I did not cover myself with glory, you did a great job, Mac.
Yeah,
we'll explain it to you.
I agree.
Valerie, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And until next time, this is Mac Maloney saying for the rest of the game, be safe, be happy, and
bye-bye.